Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
And by Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Learn more at brome.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 996, in which, among other things, we'll learn how hummingbirds can hover so close to flowers and maneuver in those tight spaces between them without crashing into them. That's in our Science Corner today. In our audio postcard department now, we have another triple play. 3 audio postcards, starting with this one from Kathy in the Sunshine State.
Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Wrigling, coming to you from the amazing Wekiwa Springs State Park in Central Florida. Right now, I'm listening to the beautiful call of the Bachman's sparrow here in the Sandhill habitat, doing their "Here, Kitty, Kitty, Kitty" song. Also, in the distance, I hear the song of the summer tanagers, who also breed here. There's some red-bellied woodpeckers also calling. And just a few moments ago, I heard the brown-headed nuthatch, who recently fledged some young. It's a quiet, still morning. It's still relatively comfortable temperature for July. Oh, I do hear a mourning dove now. I hope all of you have a wonderful day and happy birding.
Thank you, Kathy. Sounds like a wonderful spot there, Wekiwa Springs State Park, Central Florida. Meanwhile, farther north, Phil Wyterby has an audio postcard for us.
Good morning, everyone, from West Milford, New Jersey. In a wooded area near my house, I'm surrounded by a humongous flock of common grackles that have put down and are foraging around me. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. Happy birding, everyone. Goodbye now.
Thank you, Phil. Inundated there, but not intimidated by a big flock of common grackles.
And now for something completely different.
We have one more audio postcard, and it's a different one for a very good and very timely reason, as we're about to hear.
Good morning, Ray and fellow birders. It's Linda from Baltimore. Today I'd like to take just a mini break from the birds and talk about Plastic-Free July. As July comes to a close, allow me to share a quick and easy way to give up some plastic for July and forever with 2 words: bar soap. Why bar soap? It uses less energy to manufacture and it needs less water to produce. It comes in a recyclable paperboard box. It is more efficiently transported. There's a bar soap for every type of skin: oily, sensitive, dry, and whichever bar you choose, it may actually last longer than what's in that plastic bottle. So give it a try. It's a small step for saving a big planet.
Beautifully said, Linda. A small step for saving a big planet. Thank you, Linda, for that plastic-free July audio postcard. And by the way, I'd like to put in a plug for Bar Soap's sister product, Bar Shampoo. No, seriously, it really is a thing, and it is really great. It does make lots of lather, even though people are skeptical about it. Pretty easy to find online or maybe at your local retailer that sells planet-friendly products. Meanwhile, if you're thinking about making an audio postcard, wondering how to do it, just grab your smartphone or borrow one from a friend and record a little description of birds that you're seeing wherever you are. Then just mail the file to ray@talkingbirds.com, ray@talkingbirds.com. Well, it's worth keeping in mind how birds are affected by plastic pollution. And that is brought home yet again by an event in Florida just this past week when dozens of great shearwaters were found washed ashore on Atlantic-side beaches following an offshore storm. A post-mortem exam revealed that most of the shearwaters had plastic built up in their stomachs. Experts there say it's likely that the birds were malnourished from the lack of nutrients in what they were eating, and it potentially contributed to them not being able to endure the storms offshore. Well, some good news on the plastic pollution front from Washington. The U.S. government will stop using single-use plastics in all federal operations by 2035, according to a new strategy announced by the White House. The plan also sets a goal for the federal government to stop buying plastic for food service, events, and packaging by 2027. While the strategy isn't enforceable by law and could change under future administrations, it is the first government-wide initiative aimed at reducing plastic pollution. And it recognizes that the plastic pollution crisis encompasses the entire life cycle, from the fossil fuels used as the building blocks in plastic manufacturing to the microplastic bits fouling our shoreline. By the way, we're nearing the end of Plastic Free July, but it's not too late to find out more about it. A good place to do it is at plasticfreejuly.org, plasticfreejuly.org. All right, back to birds, including this one. It's our mystery bird. This is a preview of the contest coming along just a little bit later on in the show. Here are some clues. And before the clues, just a reminder that if you win our contest today with the correct answer or through a drawing, you'll be eligible for some other spectacular prizes on our August 25th, 1000th Talking Birds show. Our mystery bird is a small songbird that's bright yellow from the bottom of its bill to the top of its belly. It has a black and white face with an eyebrow that's yellow in front of the eye and white behind the eye, and black stripes on the face continuing down its sides. It has a gray back and gray wings with double white wing bars. Our bird winters in Florida and points south and breeds as far north as Illinois, Ohio, New Jersey, and rarely New England. It feeds mostly on insects along tree branches. That would be our mystery bird, and two beautiful prizes for today include the Brome Mega 600 feeder. With the extra-large tube, it holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, easy to clean, chew-proof. Includes the Brome seed ventilation system to keep the seed cool and dry. Plus a $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective, your one-stop shop for vintage-inspired apparel and unique accessories, all featuring birds. Prizes there on our Mystery Bird contest, and eligibility for that big set of prizes on our August 25th show, our show number 1000. Our Talking Birds ambassadors are the folks who help us get the word out about our show and about birds and conservation, which is what we're trying to push around here. Thank you to Isaac from Oceanside, New York, Nassau County, home of the beautiful 52-acre marine nature study area. That sounds like a pretty cool and birdy place. Thank you, Isaac. Now, we did a rough estimate and figured out that something like 35,000 Talking Birds info cards have been delivered, thanks to our 884 ambassadors now all over the U.S. and Canada and beyond. But what if it could be 50,000 cards or 75,000 or 100,000? That would mean a whole lot more folks learning about birds and conservation. So we'd like to encourage all Talking Birds listeners to consider joining our ambassadors family and help get the word out about those topics. And by the way, we're now sending out electronic versions of our cards for folks who'd rather spread the word that way. To become an ambassador, just go to talkingbirds.com and click on the Get Involved tab at the top of the page. We promise that it's easy to sign up and that it's easy to be a Talking Birds ambassador. That's talkingbirds.com, and the Get Involved tab at the top of the page. Still to come today, we'll learn how hummingbirds do it, how they maneuver in and around flowers without crashing into them. That's with our own Debbie Bleacher in the Talkin' Birds Science Corner. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live segment about that group of avian acrobats known as kingbirds. And up next, a beautiful bird from Brazil that can make some amazing music is today's featured feathered friend. I was talking with my Brazilian friend Gilberto the other day. He said he was very impressed with the northern mockingbird he just heard, but added that he didn't think its vocalizing was a match for a bird he knew back home. And he said he wouldn't mind at all if we made that bird this week's featured feathered friend. It's the Campo Trupial, a member of the icterid or blackbird family. That family includes orioles, and the Campo Trupial sports colors very much like many of our North American oriole species. It has a bright orange breast, belly, and nape, with a black face and throat and a sharply pointed bill, black wings with a large white patch, yellow-orange underparts, and a yellow rump. And as for this Trupial's vocalizing, how about this? The Campo Trupial is endemic to northeastern Brazil, where it typically inhabits dry scrubland and deciduous woodland at elevations up to 2,300 feet. Its diet consists of insects and other small invertebrates, along with fruits and nectar. The name Campo refers to a grassy plain with small trees, and Trupial is from the French word troupe, reflecting the fact that these birds tend to live in flocks. The Campo Trupial is fairly common within its wide range, with a population that seems to be stable. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has rated its status as being of least concern. Let's hear a little more. Sounds like Gilberto was right. The Campo Trupial, Icterus jamaicae, today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend. Welcome again to our show, number 996. Let's find out now about that amazing hummingbird maneuverability as we pay a visit here to the Talkin' Birds Science Corner.
Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Ray. Do you ever wonder how hummingbirds sip nectar from flowers without bumping into them?
Well, I guess I figured that their flying ability is so extraordinary they can just maneuver like a race car driver in tight traffic. But maybe they have to be able to avoid things that aren't even in their line of sight.
Yeah, their flying ability is extraordinary, and there's been a lot of research on it. But, there hasn't been much research on how they sense where their bodies are in relation to other objects, like flowers.
And like how they manage not to bump into them?
Yeah, that. So my point is that researchers at UCLA have recently discovered that hummingbirds make a 3D map of their bodies using their sense of touch. This helps them keep track of where they are, even in complex places like clusters of flowers. The way it works is that the leading edges of their wings and the skin on their legs transmit information about air pressure to the brain. And receptors on their bill, face, and head pick up some of the information too. Remember, air pressure is affected by how close an object is, like the side of a flower. So the hummingbird's brain analyzes this information and maps where the body is relative to these objects.
So their brains get kind of visual information beyond what the eyes can provide.
Right. Now, one of the interesting things about this discovery is that it shows that bird brains process body position the same way that mammal brains do, even though the brains are very different. Mammal brains have layers, and bird brains don't. We know that mammal brains process touch in the outer layer, It turns out birds have a special area in the front of their brains that does the same thing.
So different brains, different places in the brain, but the same mechanism for processing touch.
You got it.
So why did they study hummingbirds in particular to figure this out?
Great question. I think it's because they're cute, but the UCLA group had done previous work with owls. They found that a lot of the touch area of an owl's brain processes touch information from its talons. And this makes sense because owls depend on their talons so much.
Sure.
So hummingbirds live a very different life from owls. For them, the most valuable aspect of touch is how it can help them avoid bumping into stuff. So studying owls, hummingbirds, and other birds that use touch in different ways helps us map bird brains. And that's valuable because their brains are so new to us.
What was the process the scientists used?
I thought it was kind of clever. The scientists placed electrodes very gently on the hummingbirds' heads, and they blew puffs of air on various places on their bodies. Then they watched a computer screen to see which areas of the brain received the sensation. This method has been used for a long time with mammals, so we know a lot about how to keep an animal comfortable while it's happening.
And what might be the significance of this research?
Knowing how touch is processed in the brain, in this case a hummingbird brain, can help us improve prosthetic limbs and other devices for humans and any other animal that needs them. But more immediately, learning what birds feel can help us make better environments for them.
All right, good for birds, good for people. Nice. Thank you, Debbie, for another fascinating Science Corner report.
My pleasure, Ray.
Our own Debbie Bleacher here on Talkin' Birds, and up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. That is our mystery bird. At least we hope it is. On our mystery bird contest, it's a small songbird that's bright yellow from the bottom of its bill to the top of its belly. It has a black and white face with an eyebrow that has a little yellow in front of the eye and then white behind the eye, and black stripes on the face continuing down its sides. It has a gray back and gray wings with double white wing bars. Our bird winters in Florida and points south and breeds as far north as Illinois, Ohio, New Jersey, sometimes New England. It feeds mostly on insects and mostly along tree branches. That's our mystery bird. Give the phone number in just a second here. First, the prizes. A Broom Mega 600 feeder with an extra-large tube that holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, plus a $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective, your one-stop shop for vintage-inspired apparel and unique accessories, all featuring birds. And here's the number. It's 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900, as is the usual routine. Time is of the essence, so please call us as soon as you can. 781-837-4900 is the number. And then, in the meantime, it's Let's Ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
Welcome to a world where bird feeding is enjoyable for both you and your feathered friends. Introducing Squirrel Buster Bird Feeders by Brome. Our innovative feeders are designed to keep squirrels at bay, ensuring that your garden birds get their fair share. And the best part? We offer lifetime care for every feeder, making your purchase worry-free. Transform your garden into a bird paradise and keep it that way forever. Sorry, squirrels, it's just for the birds this time. Visit Brome.com, BROME.com, to discover our full range of Squirrel Buster feeders and join the Brome family today. Brome, where birds come first, and our commitment to you lasts a lifetime.
Well, there are lots of tyrants around the world, and some of them are right in our backyard, as we're about to learn when we hear about kingbirds with our man, Mike O'Connor, down there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ray. I'm just stepping out of the shower. I tried out that bar soap and shampoo you talked about.
Yeah, how'd it work?
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah. I know when you tell people about bar shampoo, it sounds a little weird, probably, first of all, but I have to say I've tried it, and it works great, and you get rid of all that plastic bottle stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now I got a towel off. Give me a second.
Kingbirds use it, I hear, but I'm not certain about that.
Yeah.
But
Kingbirds. I had some customer, I'm not sure where she was from, but she was talking about a kind of a notorious backyard predator bird, a Cooper's hawk, which is famous for picking off feeder birds. And she had one attack Cooper's hawk, chasing her feeder birds. And typically when a hawk arrives, the birds scatter. Except in this case, from somewhere in the neighborhood, a smaller bird arrived and actually attacked the Cooper's hawk. Went right at it, just like one of those little chowy, barky dogs that attacks everything. And we chase it away, and it happened a couple of times. And she wanted to know what it was, and like you said, it's actually a kingbird. Kingbirds are small, like the size of a catbird, maybe the size of a cardinal. There's several species in North America. The most widespread are the eastern kingbird, and for the eastern half, and believe it or not, for the western half, there's a western kingbird. They're both aggressive towards pretty much anything. It can be each other. It can be a smaller bird. It can be a great blue heron and a hawk. And while a lot of birds you'll see blue jays or grackles or crows harass maybe a red-tailed hawk or an owl, they harass them, but they don't necessarily attack them. And plus, red-tailed hawks, for example, are good at catching rabbits and squirrels, but they're a little bit slow for catching songbirds, so those birds will harass them. Cooper's hawks are great at catching birds, but that doesn't slow the kingbird down. It comes out, and I had one go through the other day. Not only, usually they buzz it, this bird would literally land on the back of the Cooper's hawk and just stop pecking at it. And they're tiny. And the Cooper's hawk would have to shake it off like a dog shakes off water when it comes out from swimming. Shake it off, and the bird would fly up and go right at it. And the Cooper's hawk was trying to avoid it. It flew through some trees to get away from it, and it popped out the other side of this stands of trees, and the kingbird is waiting for it on the other side. Trees stood right over the horizon. Kingbirds, great birds to have around. They eat insects, they eat berries, and so once again, if you want to have good birds in your yard, and I'm not saying good birds, but a lot of birds in your yard, keep it natural. Plant native stuff. Don't spray anything that might kill the bugs, and plant native stuff that might produce some berries, and you'll have food for the kingbirds. They'll eventually move on when the weather gets cold, at least around here. But that's the kingbird. And I want to give a shout-out to a guy named Brian who came by from Walpole. He's a letter carrier, and while he's delivering the mail, he's listening to Talking Birds, and he seemed to like my spot for some reason, but that, I can't give him a lot of credit for that, because who knows why he likes that.
You told me this story. You're being very modest there, because he didn't just say he kind of likes your part. He said your part, even though he thought it was 6 minutes long. Said your Let's Ask Mike is the best thing on radio. That's what he said.
He did say that. he did say that. So, letter carriers are probably the smartest people that we know, right?
They are, yeah.
They know the zip code. They know the mailboxes. They do it all. They get the flyers. They get your government checks to you, your packages. So this guy is clearly, and he listens to it while he's delivering the mail. So if you get the wrong mail, That's because Brian wasn't paying attention. He was listening to Talking Birds.
It's our fault, yeah. His radio only gets one channel, which might also explain it. But all right, Mike, thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay. All right, see you later.
Mike O'Connor there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And we return now to the mystery bird contest. We'll hear that bird one more time, I think. There it is. A small songbird, bright yellow from the bottom of its bill to the top of its belly, a black and white face with an eyebrow with a little yellow in front of the eye and white behind the eye, black stripes on the face continuing down the sides, a gray back, and gray wings with double white wing bars. And Carrie is somewhere in the great state of Delaware. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Nice to hear from you, Carrie. And I guess you've heard the clues and whatnot about the mystery bird, and you say, what about it?
So I'm tossed up between a yellow-throated warbler and a magnolia warbler.
Ooh,
but
okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's the magnolia.
You think it's a magnolia instead of the yellow-throated warbler. Well, I was... it looks like that is not quite correct. But
Oh, no.
yeah, it's awfully close. It's awfully close. But thank you, Carrie.
No problem.
All right, try us again. Carrie, guessing there the magnolia warbler. And that's not the one. We didn't give it away, did we, as to which one it was? No, I don't think so. Let's try... who do we have? We have another caller coming in right now. Just a quick reminder while we can, too, that if you're not hearing our show live and would like to so you can hear our Mystery Bird contest, just go to talkingbirds.com. You can see how to do it. Our live broadcast is on Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 10 Eastern. That's Sunday morning, 9:30 to 10 Eastern. And we have Maddie on the line. I'm not sure where she's from, but we'll find out. Good morning, Maddie. Hello, Maddie. Are you there? All right. Trying Maddie. Oh, yeah, I think she is there. Are you there, Maddie?
I am. Hello, Ray.
Hi. And you're where, Maddie?
In Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. All right. Our mystery bird contest here. What do you say, Maddie?
Is a yellow-throated warbler.
That was kind of the default there on that, on that other guess, but excellent job. Exactly right. The yellow-throated warbler is correct. So you win, Maddie, not only that Brome feeder and the $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective, but you are eligible in the special drawing we'll be doing on our show number 1000. That'll be on the 25th of August, and we'll be describing those prizes very soon. So thank you, Maddie.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. I love your podcast.
Well, thank you so much. And if you'll stay on the line, Jesse is ready to take your info. All right, that's Maddie in Syracuse, New York. And that is about it for our show this morning. We are pretty much out of time. On our next show, we'll learn how University of Minnesota scientists have shown how we can prevent the most likely and imminent species extinctions by saving a tiny percentage of the planet's surface. One of those scientists, Dr. Anup Joshi, will be with us next week to tell us about it. That's our show for today, and we'll leave you
with 2 words, bar soap.
See you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
And by Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Learn more at brome.com.